So it looks like the San Francisco exodus is accelerating, and the city is taking additional blows to its commercial real estate market, which includes Westfield, which is one of the city's major shopping centers. They've decided to abandon their flagship mall after 2 decades. Factors behind this departure, of course, are many, including declining sales, occupancy, and foot traffic. And that's very important for a mall. So as San Francisco drowns under their woke aftermath, and of course many failed policies, the once booming tech hub of a city faces a collapse. All they seemingly offer at this point is no tourists, vacant office buildings, and major layoffs by, well, all the tech giants. Now, the government hasn't been helping out. As a matter of fact, they're rising interest rates, and the problem is making it much harder for companies to refinance their debt, of which most of them have considerable levels of. This is leading to loan payment cancellations and to property transfers back to, well, their financiers. The potential impact to the banks and concerns among investors and regulators are starting to rise, and those are only adding to the city's woes. Many experts have been offering some contrasting views on San Francisco's future, with some predicting a very long period of suffering and decline. And then there's others that are unrealistically optimistic about the current plight and are really thinking that the city's bounce back potential is rather high. Wait a minute. Is one of those experts Jim Cramer? If so, it's time to run. Here we go. So the story is always the same, and in this case, a once vibrant shopping mall and tourist destination in San Francisco is experiencing a prolonged string of significant setbacks. Yeah, we're going to call them setbacks. That doesn't seem exactly right, but we'll use that word. Of course, the latest setback is being Westfield, the owner of one of the largest malls, who has decided to cut ties with one of their biggest properties after 20 years, walking away from equity and opportunity in the future. Now, in a move that all of California is about to get really regularly accustomed to, Uniball, Rodamco, and Westfield announced that it's planned to transfer the Westfield San Francisco shopping mall back to lenders. This is reflecting a deteriorating condition and declining sales. Obviously, occupancy rates and foot traffic have been major issues for them and everybody else in commercial spaces. Of course, that reminds me of a joke, and probably inconvenient and inappropriate, but that never stops me. Why are San Francisco malls like zombies? They just hang around waiting on some foot traffic. Get it? Foot traffic? Anyway, of course, the city has also been reeling from some chilling effects of very terrible policies over the last few years. We've actually documented some of these over, well, about a week ago, if you go back to, the simple fact that London breed is killing off the entire city of San Francisco. And again, this is just one of the symptoms to a much larger problem. They've been hit very hard because of, obviously, the work from home scheme that was put in place, well, courtesy of, again, London breed, and others of her ilk, to be fair. This, of course, leaves office buildings empty. It absolutely leaves all of these mall spaces empty, and it exacerbates the layoffs from all of these major tech companies. Obviously, if you have your people working from home, you don't need nearly as much space. Also, if you can stay out of the city of San Francisco that's been deteriorating over the last several years, you're going to. So with a combination of all these globalist-friendly policies and the factors that go along with them, you're seeing rising U.S. interest rates really start to have an impact. It's made it very expensive for companies to refinance their outstanding debts, and it's easier just to hand things back. And of course, this left many of the poorly led companies just outright canceling loan payments, defaulting, whatever term you want to use. You're seeing tons of lenders and financiers now holding the bag or the purse strings for all of these projects that really don't have any opportunity to earn any revenue. And of course, regulators are concerned, and well, they should be. These experts cite the rising and uncontrolled crime in various areas, policies that have driven tourists away, which I can guarantee you there are plenty, and businesses and citizens alike just absolutely bailing out of the city proper. When you look at those policies, it looks like defunding the police and shutting down businesses, was a bad idea, right? No kidding. Of course, there are always varying perspectives on the city's recovery. You've got Thomas La Salivia, I think that's how you say his name, a Moody's Analytics head of commercial real estate and economics, acknowledges that the trouble ahead looks rather dire, but he remains optimistic. I don't know why. He's predicting that occupancy rates and foot traffic will eventually rebound due to the city's status. What status? The poo capital of the world? I don't know. When? When would this actually rebound? What's going to draw people back to San Francisco? It's certainly not that quirky little tourist commercial they made recently, which really just serves to divide people even more. What's funny is this person is supposed to be somewhat of an economic expert, and if he's paying attention, the state's actually importing poverty, and they're ordering it up. They are a, what do you call it? Asylum state? A safe state? A sanctuary state? They're actually going out of their way to legalize every kind of drug and the exploitation of children, which I don't think a lot of people are in favor of. They're poised to give away even more taxpayer money to all kinds of nonsensical schemes, and that really isn't going to help retain your tax base. They're going to run away. San Francisco, to put it bluntly, will never be the cultural destination that it once was. It's being actively destroyed in real time, and there are plenty of videos and articles to support all of that. The concentration of highly skilled labor in life sciences, biotech, and the tech sectors proper are either being laid off or are simply leaving for safer locations, and you honestly can't blame them, can you? I'm not sure that this Moody's analyst has been paying very close attention or has ever been to San Francisco because this city has changed substantially under the leadership of Mayor Undercooked Broil. So I'm going to switch over to an expert that actually understands the commercial real estate market directly, Warren Washburger. He's the CEO of ACOM Capital, and he's revealed the motivation behind the shift in strategy among mall owners of every size, focusing on their best performing properties, of course, and divesting themselves of the underperforming ones. Now, while malls like Westfield, Century City, and Los Angeles continue to thrive, older malls and ones that are, well, poorly run in poorly run cities are struggling. So, in that event, culling the failures is the only pathway to financial success, and I think everybody there would agree. When a McDonald's isn't earning enough money, what do they do with that? They relocate it. So this is even part of a bigger scale operation. Westfield's decision to leave San Francisco was prompted by a significant decline in foot traffic, which dropped 43% from 2019 to 2021. Obviously, shutting down the city certainly didn't help. And those sales that they were making before went from $455 million to $298 million during a period of absolutely rampant inflation. So popular stores like Nordstrom and Banana Republic have, well, they've bailed, and their closure has further contributed to a decrease in occupancy levels and, well, no more anchors in many of these malls. Now, occupancy levels in California and specifically the San Francisco area are roughly about the same and stand at 55%. How inviting is a half-empty mall to most customers? Not very. And as I said, this problem is much bigger than this type of commercial real estate. San Francisco's retail future is dim at best, of course. Contrasting viewpoints aside, the city's future sees very little potential of any kind of recovery, at least not in any of the near future that anybody can imagine. And the strategies adopted by mall owners to abandon these spaces will not improve those conditions at all. In fact, even the hotel hospitality industry is abandoning San Francisco. And I'm sure you've heard, but Park Hotels and Resorts has bailed onto properties in the Tony Moscone Center area, which, well, that's where a lot of wealthy people would be. They've ditched both their Hilton San Francisco and the Park 55 Hotel. They're abandoning them along with a whole lot of equity to the tune of $725 million. And that is a complete loss. Of course, with nowhere for tourists to stay, how are they going to shop at your malls? Anyway, so rest assured, I'll be keeping my eye on San Francisco and many other cities that are having these same struggles. And they all, of course, have very similar problems under very similar leadership, which, well, I don't really have to point out. Over the course of the next few weeks, as a matter of fact, I should be able to monitor in real time the decline in all of these cities, which obviously would also include Portland. So if you live in any of these places with that same kind of leadership, I truly feel for you. And I would suggest you find a way to move very, very far away very, very quickly. Oh, and by the way, if you happen to be that guy from Moody's, yeah, you had a bad take, brah. Please feel free to give me your thoughts down below, whether you agree or not, or what you would suggest would possibly fix the things that are going on there. I'm sure you have better ideas than the current leadership anywhere in California. And with that, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. Till next time, bye.